shall win. My teacher, my pride.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure after the lesson. We were just talking about hairstyle and how somebody wants a closer look. So, are you ready to start, or do you want to set up anything first?
Yes, I want to do this.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you again. Please state your name and the class you will be taking.
My name is Olayinka. I'm taking English language for grade 8. And the topic is adverbs. My code is 01800.
Teaching adverbs.
For what class?
Grade 8.
Okay. And what are your objectives?
By the end of the class, the learners should be able to define adverbs. They should be able to list types of adverbs and give examples on each type.
Right, if you start the clock on the board, we are going to roll.
Okay.
Okay, good to go? 5 minutes.
Okay, good day, class. Before we go into today's topic, I would like to ask you a few questions. Tuji, what time did you get here this morning? Please paint that down. Write it down. And Tola, I want you to have a picture of a pregnant woman, heavily pregnant, walking down the street.
Okay.
This is a picture of a pregnant woman, right?
Okay.
Heavily pregnant and walking down the street.
Okay.
How did she walk down the street?
Okay.
And Tola, how often do you go to church? Please write that down. So let's go. Let's move on very quickly. Like I said, we're going to be discussing adverbs today. Now, what are adverbs? Adverbs tell us how, when, how often, where, and why. Take note of these words: how, when, how often, where, and why. How did she sing? How did she sing? She sang sonorously. She sang sonorously. She sang sonorously. How did he drive? How did he drive? Anybody wants to try? Anybody wants to try?
Carefully.
He drove, carefully. We have that here. He drove carefully. Look at the examples we have on the board. Quietly, carefully, sluggishly, well, badly. Talk quietly. How was he asked to talk? Quietly. That is the adverb there. Quietly. Next, we have Sarah drove slowly. Sarah drove slowly. Next, we go to
Change it to selection. Voila.
adverb of time. Adverb of time, they answer the question when. When did you arrive? When did you have your breakfast? When did you go to bed? When did you take your drugs? They answer the question when. And now we have now, today, later, yesterday, tomorrow, etc. I received the parcel today. When did you receive the parcel? Today. Tony left yesterday. When did Tony leave? Tony left yesterday. Now we go to adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency answer the question how often. They answer the question how often. Always, sometimes, rarely, once in a blue moon, etc. You always complain. Not once, not twice, but you do what? Complain always.
My wife
Mother rarely goes to church. She doesn't go to church regularly, but she goes to church rarely. Now let's go back to adverb of manner. I said adverb of manner, they answer the question what? Why? Why are you here? Why are you here? Next we have adverb of time. When did you take your drugs? I took my drugs last night. That is an adverb. Good.
I stay off drugs.
Okay, that's beautiful. And adverb of frequency, how often. I have examples here: always, sometimes, rarely, and so on and so forth. So back to what you have on the table there. But Tayo, please, can you reveal your answer? 8:28. That answers the question what?
When.
That answers the question when, which is an example of adverb of what?
Time.
Time. Beautiful. Tuji, yes, your answer.
I put The pregnant woman was shuffling or ambling.
Good, beautiful. She was shuffling or that was how
How?
she walked. It answers the question, what?
How.
Beautiful. And you?
My answer is frequently, and the question was how frequent, how
often, don't forget
do
that.
I go to
How
church?
often do you go to church?
I
You
answer
go to
frequently.
church frequently. Beautiful. Now let's look at it. Let's have our attention on the chart here. Now, we have learned different types. Okay. Now our attention should be on the chart.
Yep.
Now, what is an example here of an adverb of frequency?
Never.
Never, correct. And adverb of time?
We can't see that at one bottom
Okay.
right.
Seldom.
True.
Adverb of time? Look closely. Time. Sorry, my first question was what?
I seldom go to church.
I seldom goes to church answers the question, how often?
How often, that's true.
How
okay.
often do you go to church? And last but not least, adverb of time. Okay, this is adverb of time. Then the last
never,
should be, I never go to church.
Yeah, so we've
never
done that
go
one.
to church. And last but not least, how? Adverb of manner.
Very.
Nicely. Correct. A round of applause for yourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, we're in time there. Okay. Who's going to get us started this time? Who wants to start?
Let me start.
Please do, Prof.
Olayinka made us proud because English is a foreign language, but you brought it home. Yes. You spoke well, you delivered well, the content was good enough. So, and it was well presented, annotated, with examples. So, what else can we say than to give it to you that you know what you are doing, you prepared, and you are confident, you were able to express yourself, you gave the class a good deal for their attention. We participated as class members. Actually, you gave us evaluation and you concluded on time. So,
Thank you.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Chinedum, please.
Solaneo.
Oladiran.
Oh, okay. Oladino.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well done about your lesson.
Thank you.
Thank you for, again, making it simple and actually teaching us. These are things that one could mix up very easily. But listening to you, I don't think any child you teach they would fail adverbs. Easy to understand, easy to, internalize. Very, very relatable examples. You use your time well, and that's very, very good. You were able to, so you managed your time well, your sequencing was good, and you had a plenary, you reviewed what you did at the end, and also gave some sort of evaluation. So well done.
Thank you.
All within 5 minutes, that's commendable.
Thank you.
That you took care of all this. So well done. I have nothing else to say other than to commend you.
Thank you very much.
And I like your disposition. Very, very warm disposition. Well done.
Okay. Olayinka, Oladiran. Okay, what you have going for you is if you're an English teacher and therefore you've got good diction, you've got good grammar, and you've got good content. Yeah? So you're planning it and you can deliver it. Of course, it's going to help with your delivery and generally your communication. So all of that is in place. And you have been able to display that consistently throughout. I think this is the 5th time I'm seeing you now, and it's a pleasure to see you. I look forward to it. And what I do like about your classes is that you do challenge us, you do challenge me, and I'm thinking, oh, which is the right answer? Let me not show myself up on camera, but I never mind doing that. Right or wrong, it's still a learning experience. As we sometimes say, sometimes you win, and sometimes you learn. That's J.C. Maxwell, not me.
Okay.
Sometimes you win, and sometimes you learn. That's the new saying of it. So, very good question. So your questioning is what challenges us. Your questioning is what drives the pace. Your questioning is what keeps the lesson ticking over very nicely. So all of that is in place. What are adverbs? So you see, you even had a nice question, plain question. What are adverbs? But then you went on to answer it with your, I think, first or second slide. You went into your definition, which we're trying to say definitions are not necessarily helpful. And I can give you an example of where people have defined things for me, and I've put that exact thing in front of them. And I said, what is that? And they can't recognize it. Because all they have done is memorized a definition. Yeah? And now that I've placed the thing they've defined in front of them, they've not been able to recognize it because I've changed it slightly. So that's the reason why we're going to try and get away with sometimes all these definitions, be it in your objectives. I know if they need to be able to define something for an exam, you will tell them that, but it doesn't need to be in your objectives, yeah, or in your success criteria. So, all very good, all very high marks. 2 things to watch out for. I know we're rushed. I know that we're in a race against time. Nonetheless, where you can, so if you go back to example your slide 2 or 3 even, any of them. So what we should be doing when we have the time, and I know we don't always have the time, but as often as possible, you see there you go, one of your words there, as often as possible, you try and get the students to read the slides.
Okay.
That's trying to get them to participate more, yeah? Okay, so there's that, and then it's a bit rushed, and another reason why I know it's a bit rushed is I was trying to give you some feedback. I probably said 2 or 3 things, not that you ignored, but there were like 1 or 2 that you just ran over, so to speak, you see. And students stop participating in class if they're giving responses and they're not being acknowledged, right or wrong.
That's true.
Yeah. So just bear that in mind. They're little things, but of course you're at the top there of your trade and you just need to factor these things in. I get the feeling that in a real classroom situation, you may not have to be so rushed. But even in this 5-minute simulation, try and see if you can still draw some things from us and just make sure that we're fully engaged for that reason and, more student-centered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if Prof said he didn't see anything to correct, and the student said she did not see anything to correct, and I think this is the second time this is happening.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a testimony to the fact that it is not a fluke. It is in you. I think you are one of the few teachers that has consistently maintained the first 3 positions.
Yeah.
Since we started.
Definitely.
Yeah. So,
I'm glad that I'm oblivious of this thing.
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good. We deliberately did not mention.
Yes.
So, but consistently she has been on the upper 3 since we started.
It shows.
Yeah, I think one of your strengths is selection of topics. You have a way of selecting topics that will still go for you. You master the content very well, and if you master the content and you gain mastery of subject matter, you manipulate it to an extent.
That is right.
So it's quite obvious. Your simplification is very good, your demonstration is very good, your dramatization is very good, your illustration is very good. I think you have it in you to be a great teacher. Like the judges have rightly said, you made it in a way that you can easily relate to it. Adverbs.
Thanks.
We have 2 more minutes to go, and it's not going to be very empty. And I want you to know that you are not the only one who has given fantastic performance here today. We are seeing equally good presentations.
Yeah.
So go back to your drawing board, go and work more on your selection of topics, go and work more on your instructional materials, go and work more on your rehearsals. Mr. Person was saying you are a bit rushed, and it could be more sequenced if you can just do more rehearsal with your timer. Today it's been a good one, but then
A very good one.
2 more legs to cross. It is not a whole yet, and it is not over until it is all over. Good job, Nika.
Thank you very much.